Hey everybody, it is Thursday night and it is time for your host Gamer Mom Luna to take over Tales from the Tavern.
Hi everybody, welcome to Tales from the Tavern. I am so excited. We have such a great group here tonight. So I'm going to go around, I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves, and also just a reminder for people who have not had the chance to join us in chat before, because we have so many friends here tonight. We take questions from the chat, so drop questions right in chat, and one of our moderators will take care of making sure that we get them so we can answer all of your questions. Manda just saw what her name is on screen.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I try not to make a face.
So yes, that could be one of your questions, is why is Manda's name Mark Turris or Arktov?
I'd like to know.
Yeah, I am confused as well.
All right, well, we will go around. Manda, I'm going to start with you, and maybe you can start by telling everybody why your name says Marktov or Mark Turris or Arktov.
Well, my real name is Amanda, also known as Mandamanda. I'm a mod here on HowINerd, and I'm also a cast member on Wednesday nights, Tabletop Tavern 2 with Luna and Mike and others. And the reason it says Marktov or Arktov is because Arcturus and Marktov are two different characters in our Wednesday night show, and they have some kind of bromance going on. And this is the big question from last night: is it Mark Turris or Arktov as their power couple name? So that is where this comes from.
I like Mark Turris.
Yeah, I
Well,
think Mark Turris won last night.
I was going to say, interestingly enough, I think somebody actually said that without prompting.
Yeah, that was what won last night. So earlier when we were getting set up, I asked Mike why he didn't ask me what I wanted my display name to be. But then I said I wanted it to be Mark Turris. So here we are.
Yes. Well, I'm super excited that you get to join us again tonight, Amanda. We don't get to have you on nearly often enough. So
yeah, I'm really happy to be here, more than just once a week. So
yeah, yes. All right, and we will go to Goodval next. Welcome. Just if you would like to give a little introduction about who you are and where you're from.
Yeah, my name's Goodval. I play Seacart Nozagar on the From Afar podcast, and I'm really excited to be here. Also, I'm very aware that my name is weird, sometimes hard to say, and I apologize for that fact.
That's okay. We won't hold it against you. And we're very excited that you are here tonight. It's always nice when we get somebody new from the community to come and hang out with us. So
very stoked to be here. I've only heard so many amazing things. So I've been so pumped about this.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for jumping in. I know we thought we were going to try to get you on last week, and then that didn't happen. So I'm glad it worked out for this week.
Hey, whenever you can have me, I will always be ready.
Fantastic. Next, we're going to go to SaintofDaemons. Saint.
Oh crap, out of order. Hey, I'm Saint. Also Chris. I am the DM for Discount Dungeons. This is my first return to Tabletop Tavern, and I am happy to be here. I am excited. It's a great group. I'm looking forward to tonight's conversations.
Yeah. Yes, Chris was one of our very early guests back in April when he first came on. So one of the really early episodes. So it's nice to have him back.
Yep. I am always willing to come on if you ever need someone. I enjoy talking D&D and nerd stuff in general. It's kind of the core of my identity these days.
Right? I know. I hear you. And next to Chris, we have Meg.
Yes, hi, I'm Meg. I play Zara on Discount Dungeons, and this is my first time on a show like this at all, so I'm very excited and looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am. I'm super excited that you are here. It was great that you were able to join us. Oh boy, Patch is here.
Patch, you're not allowed to do the giveaway.
You can't answer the giveaway, Patch.
Bud. Sorry, Patch.
All right.
Luna, I'm gonna jump in for 1 second. I'll get that set
yeah.
up for you. Would you want to open? When do you want to open the entries?
When we finish the introductions, we can open them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. And then Shannon, let's go to you.
Hey, that's me. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Shannon, and I am the community manager for and a cast member of Paradise RPG. I play with the crew on Monday nights at 7 p.m. I play my rogue Scarlet, and if you don't know by now how much I love her so very much. And just, yes, I will. I could go on for hours, but I won't. I'm also one half of the Tim and Shannon Power Hour on Sundays, and I mod for our DM Sean's show on Wednesdays, Relaxing in Paradise. And it's just been such a blast getting to meet all of you fantastic people. I'm so happy to be here.
Awesome. I know Shannon is probably one of the few people that's in the running for most appearances on Tales from the Tavern, second only to me and maybe Mike. Yeah, I think you're up to 3. Wolf's Blood and Matt from the Verbal Components have both been on twice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you might be the one with the trophy right now. So
good.
So I have a ladder to climb.
Keep that trophy
That's what I'm
because
hearing.
oh yeah, Yachts has
extremely
also been on
competitive.
3 times, so you guys will have to share it. But-
I don't share trophies.
well, then I will get you each one with your name engraved on it.
Damn, Shannon got grumpy.
Shannon's really competitive, guys. It's kind of a problem.
Fun fact, Shannon, there was a long time where I genuinely thought your name was Scarlet because you love her so much. And I still catch myself sometimes going to refer to you as Scarlet. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not actually her name.
That is such an honor, and I will always answer to that. Always.
I mean, in your defense, I can totally see that. I have subconsciously thought the same thing at least once or twice. And it's gotten so bad with my players that I will interchangeably use their real name and their character names, and they respond without any problem. It's hilarious.
For sure.
So some of us that are here right now participated in a murder mystery party over the weekend, and one of the characters in the murder mystery party was the same character as was the same name as my Wednesday night character, and I was like, I have to be so careful not to answer to that.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw some pictures from that murder mystery party. Y'all dressed up exquisitely.
I also had a monkey.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
I had a monkey.
It's true. She had a monkey. Shannon had a monkey.
Monkey's name was Jack.
There's your
So-
monkey.
There's my monkey.
Yep. It was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
It was
So I'm gonna start the questions because we've already got some coming in from chat, and this is a very good one to open the question with. This one comes from Nick from Know Your Role. He would like to know, who is your favorite character from Know Your Role, and why is it Relic?
Because you, Nick. That's why.
Yeah, we just love you, Nick. It has nothing to do with Relic. We just love Nick.
It's a fact.
Yep.
All right, glad we cleared that one up.
Great. What's next?
No, so for real, Star Shinobi. Hi, Star.
Hi, Star.
Star would like to know, what is your favorite class in your TTRPG and why?
I am going to jump in real quick
Okay.
one more time before you guys get going.
No.
And Luna. Okay, I guess we won't do the giveaway then.
Okay. What's up?
To enter, it's exclamation point AS as in Arcane Spectacles. So
Okay.
Woo!
So yeah, so we is that open now, Mike?
it should be open.
Okay. So yeah, so before we answer that question, we will let you know we are giving away one of the brand new, just released today on the Arcane Spectacles store, one of their health trackers. So
It is capital AS. Apparently it's case sensitive. I'm sorry, folks. I'm bad at this.
all right. Yes,
You're forgiven.
Moobot took care of that. So yes, exclamation point AS, capital letters. And that is for one of the brand new health trackers from Arcane Spectacles. So, oh my God, Wolf's Blood. Okay. All right. So for real, what is your favorite class in your TTRPG and why?
That's
I'm gonna
a tough
say I know. So I love wizards. Wizards are so much fun. I love the cerebral kind of characters and battlefield control or high damage. I like the flexibility.
Mhm.
Trying to think, and if I had to pick for something outside of D&D, I think I have to go with Hacker from Shadowrun. It's just fun playing that stereotypical guy in the van around the corner.
one.
Uh,
I mean, for me, like I'd love to say Bard. You know, it plays a lot to a lot of my strengths, but I think it's actually Warlock. Just you know, it's like I'm not really good at anything, so I got to contract up to actually having anything. And plus, I'm a sucker for playing classes with good charisma. I mean, maybe I should go outside of my bounds more, but a good charismatic class is always fun. So I'd probably go with Warlock.
Yeah, I agree with that. My favorite is it's Pathfinder. I don't know if it's in D&D, but in Pathfinder it's the Oracle, which is like a cleric, but it doesn't have to necessarily be good aligned. And it's charisma based, and I've played it like 3 times, and I've had a completely different experience every time, and all the different mysteries and everything involved with it. It's super unique, and you don't have to be a healer, and you don't have to prepare the spells. So I get excited
Nice.
about that too.
Makes things easier, right?
Right, exactly.
I very, very rarely play casters. Like I've always been super intimidated by like having to keep track of, do I have to memorize spells? Do I have to prepare spells? Do I have to do this? So I usually end up always playing either a rogue or a ranger or something in that realm. But yeah.
To nobody's surprise, Rogue is my favorite character. Or my favorite.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? So it came out of left
Totally
field.
surprised. I mean,
Totally
never saw it coming.
I know, right? But I'm also developing a passion for monks because I've been playing lots of monks because I like to go pop pop. So that's
I am a big
literally
fan
the
of
reason I
those,
like
yeah.
it.
I guess for me, it's like really hard to pick because I feel like I haven't really played all that much. It's mostly been like a whole lot of reading. But I guess for the sake of the question, I've really been enjoying playing like a war cleric in another campaign. And it's just like, it's a class I did not expect to like at all. I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to be the heal bit. Wait, am I allowed to curse here?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
I don't know the answer, but I know I'm not going to not do it. So
Yes, we are 18 plus. So
okay, just want to make sure. But I don't know. It was just something about the combo of like I guess some light magic use and just hitting things. I like hitting things, so that part was pretty easy.
well, and I think it speaks a lot to how clerics designed in 5e specifically, that it can be such a versatile class. I mean, because you be a war cleric and you can bop things harder than anybody else basically can, harder than the fighter, harder than the paladin. Or you could be like a knowledge cleric and be almost a pseudo wizard, and there's all kinds of things you can do. But war cleric is a beautiful choice.
I've never played that, but I bet I would enjoy it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that. I'm interested.
It is one of
almost-
the.
Oh, after you.
No. After you.
I actually almost for FAP. I started with a character idea of I want to swing an anchor as my weapon, and then I backwards built from there. And like there was a solid day and a half where I was texting Christian, and I was just like, should I be a war cleric? Should I be a paladin? Should I be a war cleric? Should I be a paladin? Because war clerics just got so much juiciness to it. So I like the choice.
Uh,
But yeah, kind of building
Yeah.
on that, in 5e, the clerics are very versatile. Each one is very distinct. And it just makes for a class that you can play so many variations of clerics with very little overlap. And unlike in previous quote unquote editions, they're not really, because of the way spells work in 5th now, they're not forced into the role of, I'm just going to heal. They have some
Right.
really punishing low level spells, like better than the wizards, better than the sorcerers.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Forgive me.
All right. Let's see. Tolmac would like to know alignment strictly followed, gentle character director, or completely ignored.
I'm strict about it, kind of. I would say maybe somewhere in the middle, but I like to use my alignment as kind of the a guide on how to roleplay my character. It doesn't have to be
Same.
strict. It's like super strict, but I consider that, along with my ability stats, I kind of just take all those things into consideration as guidance for the acting.
Yeah, same. I use it as a gentle character director as well. I like that phrase.
Yeah.
It gives me a starting point when I'm not sure how I want to play or RP a character. I'll go look at the alignment table and see which one kind of fits, and then from there I'll build it out.
It's one of the things having played in second edition where it was fairly important because of the cosmology. It is nearly impossible to truly play the alignment word for words from the book. It's such a narrow way of walking life that doesn't really allow for any flexibility, which doesn't actually reflect how humans interpret morality as a whole. Because what's moral in one century isn't going to be moral in another one. So it's this very interesting kind of thing where in terms of like the gods are supposed to be paragons of these alignments, of these very archetypical ways of morality, and humans and other races within the world have kind of more like flow through the circle, and it's whichever one is closest to the way they perceive the world is one that they generally follow, but it's never perfect. So I kind of think that it's good for a DM to use in the sense of where the party's morality is skewing as a whole versus as like an individual thing. For those that have followed Discount, they're a very gray group in terms of how they've handled a lot of situations. So saying that they're good, saying they're evil doesn't really work well. So like from the DM going like, okay, well, how's the world responding to them? Understanding that like these are just ways of interpreting a morality is much more helpful than trying to strictly adhere to it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. And like, I typically DM a lot more than I ever play. And what I like to do with my players is I'm like, use your morality, your alignment as a start off point, but it's what you do that's going to define that. If you make a choice that's outside of your alignment, that's fine. But your alignment now is going to evolve with you, with your character. As you're leveling up, so is your alignment. If you're playing very chaotic, but it says lawful, well, baby, that's not going to be lawful anymore. And I let them know, like, hey, by the way, you're kind of sliding into that direction. And like, that's going to change some things. But at the same time, 5th edition sort of took away the importance of alignment. Like, there's not as much like strict, you need to be lawful good to be a paladin. You need to be this to be that. Like, but I like to use it as that sort of like telltale games, sort of like people will remember this when you do something. And I like to remind my players, like, hey, by the way, like that was kind of shitty. Like that's not really lawful good at all, was it?
Yeah. It allows for character development. I really like what you said about that. You could start as, lawful good, but then if you do something shitty, then you're naturally going to align differently and vice versa. So I like that take. That's a good take.
Yeah.
I sort of like, you said something a second ago about like the idea of like your alignment sort of leveling up. And it sort of popped this idea into my head of like, maybe like a higher level, especially this is just my take on it, like a higher level sort of more religious type character, like a cleric or a paladin, for example, may be more strict in their alignment than a lower level one, in the concept of that, like a lower level one might be younger, whereas an older one has had more time to sort of build up to that idea. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if I'm explaining this very well, but I know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, like, I look at alignment like very much like I look at like my own personal life. Like, I've changed my viewpoint on a lot of things as I've grown. For instance, like when I was younger, I was like, drinking is bad and I will never drink. And now I'm a bartender and boy, do I love this stuff.
Same with me.
Life changes.
Yeah, I was never gonna have tattoos. Tattoos are bad. I have 6 and we'll have 7 in September.
I always like to use alignment as a reminder to the players that like your character is not static. And if you write them static, you're going to really be hampering yourself in the experience of the game. You're playing into a character, and what do people do? They grow, they learn, they change based off their experiences, and thus forth, so should your alignment. I mean, I like to think I was a lot more chaotic when I was younger, and I'm a little more neutral or lawful now, but
Yeah.
I mean, there is also the argument you can make that trying to hold on to your morality view in a world that is constantly challenging you to break that code is just as compelling as shifting with it. Like, that's the one thing that I've had to use on my players, not in the discount group, but in other times like DM, it was like, I'm lawful good, and the first thing they do is they go and punch someone. I'm like, no, you don't. You're lawful good. You just randomly slugging someone would be morally apprehensible to your character, and we just started the game. So like I've had to use it to rein in some like bad player choices. Like, you would do that, but your character wouldn't. So because it's gonna be really easy to kind of like, I am my character, so I'm just gonna do what I want to do in this moment, and it can detract from the story or it can add to the story. So like it's a useful. It's definitely useful more as a guideline or as like a reminder. It's like, hey, you said your morality was like this, but you just murdered an innocent child for whatever reason. You might want to rethink this.
Yeah. And then, of course, if you are sticking to a harder alignment, you can put more of those like morally questionable situations in front of the party, where it's like, you're lawful good, but option A is a little morally questionable. So is option B. What are you going to do, buddy? So it has its uses for sure.
Well, I mean, they're players. They're going to come up with option D.
That's freaking true. Oh, man, I've never heard anything truer.
Oh, somebody, I'm trying to find it. Somebody made a comment in chat. It might have gotten buried, but that's okay. I think it was a 3-legged ginger cat made a comment about how, if you're DMing and you feel like your party's getting a little too off track, you can always sort of drop the whole, like, I'm going to give you this really shiny magic item, but you can only use it if you're lawful good, So
I've never done that. That's actually a really fun little DM tooltip.
Yeah.
It's very good with the Holy Avenger, especially the Paladin has been dying to get one because that's like the iconic Paladin item. But you shifted a little bit too much. You can't wield it anymore. I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Oh.
Whoops.
That's brutal. Brutal. Amanda, I was going to ask you too, because I played a demo game of it, and I know you're playing a short Zweihander game right now. How does the alignment works very differently in that game, doesn't it?
Yeah, so alignment is more, you have like there's like chaos, and then there's like independence. It's really hard to explain, and it's very dynamic. It goes back and forth, and you go down certain scales depending on your actions. So it is a system where your actions actually determine your alignment and not the other way around. And it's very unique.
Yeah. I was going to say, I knew it worked differently, but I only played one game, so it was like
I'm still learning it. It's one of the most complicated systems I've ever learned. So, but it's worth it. It's an amazing system. But yeah, it's a little backwards to how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. All right. Let's see. Hillary would like to know, who is your favorite character from the Murder Mystery Party, and why is it Priscilla?
Because Bunny Jean is amazing.
Right? That was fantastic.
Oh my God.
Her outfit was spectacular.
Oh my God.
And we all voted for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Oh
she
my
won
God.
like every award that night. So.
And well deserved.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was fun.
So much fun.
The jewelry, the wig,
the wig, the accents.
long-
She nailed it.
Didn't she start with like a rap too?
Yep. And then just with layers.
Yeah.
Coming off. A
My
cigarette
favorite-
holder lost at
The
some
diamond
point.
necklace, the
Yeah.
pearls. Yeah.
My
She
favorite
had it
thing,
all.
she had messaged me months ago, like asking, like, hey, if I wanted to get into bartending, like, what would I need? And I sent her this big old breakdown of like, these are essentials, these are nice to haves, blah, blah, blah. And then she messaged me like a few days before you guys were doing the murder mystery party, and she's like, how do I make a martini? I was like, I got you,
Shit,
homegirl.
That damn martini.
Yeah.
It was
That was
amazing.
fantastic. All right. So the next actual question that we have is Pokey Spinella. Question for the crew. What is your worst accent? Please demonstrate.
Oh man.
All of them.
English is
All
my
of
I
worst
them.
mean,
accent.
like, can we do ones we like to do?
That's a tough one. I love accents. I
Yeah.
love doing them. I would have to say it's probably French. I don't know. This is probably the best you're going to get. Very offensive. I don't know much about it.
You sound like
He's
Louis.
better than me. Yeah, he does.
That was really good.
That was good. I can't do accents to save my life. Like I really can't. I had to the first murder mystery party that I did with Shannon and
Yours
Manda.
was so good.
I had to do I had to speak in the French accent
and
the
it was
whole night.
perfect.
Yeah,
It was
I
like
to-
4 hours of speaking like this.
And you nailed it. Perfect.
I was about to say that sounds better than mine. Mine is just like overtly offensive. Yours actually sounds French.
My most obnoxious accent, I had learned how to do an Essex accent for when I played my wild magic sorcerer, and she talked like this, and my mouth hurt when I was trying to practice because I never used these muscles. And I
Oh,
had
yeah.
to, oh my god, it was,
It's a
it
very
was so much
big
fun.
mouth
And I loved it. And she had such a big personality, and her name was Ella. Actually, it was Elarian, but that was too many letters, so she shortened it, and it was just so much fun.
I jumped into back around the holidays. I jumped into a one shot, and the character, it was because the person that was supposed to play this character that they had designed got sick and couldn't play that night, and it was a streamed show. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll jump in. So then I get the description of the character, and I'm like, oh shit, she's got a Cockney accent. And I was like, this is not happening tonight. Like, I don't have an hour to practice a Cockney accent. I'm sorry.
You give yourself an hour to practice? That's more than I've ever given myself.
Oh no, I literally had an hour from the time I found out I was doing the show until the streams like call came. So I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I tried to run a Curse of Strahd one time, and I think everybody's supposed to have an Eastern European accent. That did not end well for anybody.
I believe
Yeah.
it. Curse of Strahd accents are hard.
Right?
Imagine.
And like, I'm a sucker for accents. That is my favorite type of comedy. It's just slip into an accent, you become the character itself and everything. But
Yep.
Peruvian?
Mhm.
I mean, what should I do for that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I know. I wish I was good
Make
at
it up
any of
as you
them.
go.
I love it too, because there are some people that I listen to that are so good at accents, and it makes me just like, oh, I love it. Like, I listen to the Lawful Great Adventures podcast, and Benjamin, their DM, is really good at doing voices to the extent that even if it's two characters that he's voicing that are having a conversation or a part of a conversation, I can distinctly tell which one is which. And I'm like, I couldn't do that if my life depended on it. So
I'm jealous.
Well, Meg, I want to hear your worst accent though. Like, hit me
Yep.
with it.
Yep.
Oh god. Yeah, I don't know how to.
Just try it.
I've got a terrible Italian one, but it sounds like borderline Swedish, so it doesn't work.
Now I have to hear it.
now we have to hear it.
Okay.
I need to know.
Jesus Christ. I want to see the David. Can you take me to see the David?
That was awesome.
I love it. I love it.
I used to be really, really decent at an Australian accent because I had a friend from Australia. And so every time we would chat, like he would be like, all right, I'm going to coach you on the Australian accent, you know? And then I just, obviously I didn't do it anymore. So now I'm not that great at it, but
Australian and New Zealand actually are so hard to nail correctly.
Yeah.
Though. And like there's nuances between the two,
yeah.
but they're just so nuanced in themselves. It is a tough one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it totally is. And then of course, like you get the British accents because there's like, I mean, like you get so many different ones from all the different regions. And I'm like, oh, you know, you could mix the two of them up so easily without even trying. So,
Oh, absolutely. Man, accents are
Yeah.
the best.
I was literally just about to say that. You beat me to it. Accents are so much fun.
All
I
right,
love
all
it.
right. Let me ask, what's everybody's best accent, you think?
American English.
None.
Yes.
Yes. Miss Turner.
You ain't challenging me. American English, punk.
I mean, I can't even do a decent Boston accent. Like the only thing I can say
God, it was so hard.
So before the show, we were talking about how a bunch of us are from the New England area originally. And the murder mystery party that we did Saturday night is like set just north of Boston. So we were like, oh, let's see how many of us can actually do about none of us.
None of us. No. Sean's was really good. Sean's was really,
good.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you going for like classy Boston or like, hey, fuck you?
That one. That one.
I'm from Revere.
It's about the only thing we could say. I kept slipping into Southern Belle, and I think that's because my last character for the murder mystery had a Southern Belle accent, and that one was just fun.
I couldn't even just try it. I've only been to Boston one time, and I've heard it a few times, but there's no way I can even try this.
My relatives are from Boston. I don't know why that was so damn hard.
Because you're so used to it, that's why, Shannon.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah,
true. Yeah.
I'll take that. Yeah. Thanks, Chris.
My grandmother had the die-hard New Hampshire accent, which is somewhat similar to the Boston accent, but a little different. Like it's different, you know? And you would think that like I could repeat that because I grew up listening to it. And my mom has like a little twinge of it. Nope. And I like somehow didn't get it at all. You know, every once in a while I'll have an idea, but that's about it.
My mom says that drives me crazy.
No, my Boston accent was like a learned thing because I was raised by a
Let's hear
Venezuelan
it.
mother who barely spoke English when I was born. I mean, she learned it as I grew, but like her and then my dad, who wasn't from Boston, he just happened to be there when he had his kids. So then it took a little time, but I took a little trip to the East Coast, drove down the East Coast, and I was in Savannah. And my brother-in-law got into a conversation with somebody from Boston. And without speaking about it beforehand, we both decided to just bust out our best Boston accents and chat with the guy. And so we were just like, hey, Sean. Oh, no, I'm from Leominster. Like, what about you? Oh, you're a Southie. Fuck you. Fucking Southies aren't even, they're not with shit. What do you mean Southies? What are you fucking doing in Savannah?
That is so good. You're going to have to teach us all how to do that.
Yes, please.
I just had a flashback to a work call.
The trick to a Boston accent is lose your self-respect and gain a lot of anger, and then you just got it.
Done.
Everything. Fuck, that's a piece of shit. I don't know. Fuck you.
So the same trick as a Philly accent, then.
Yeah.
You just adjust your syllables accordingly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I find that that's with a lot of accents. It's the vowels or like the syllables that, you play with a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Unless you talk to an angry Philadelphian Italian, you don't hear anything. It's just a string.
I love that. Wait, can you do a Philly accent for us?
I'm from Philly. You're hearing Philly accent.
I mean, like an angry one though. Like, get in it.
Give me like 10 minutes and give me something that pisses me off so I can stew.
Mm.
Your player says that monster doesn't have that much HP.
It's what my character would do.
It's what my character would do.
Okay.
He's doing
It's not the change the syllables, it's how quickly everything starts to move together. Because as my wife behind me will say, when I am animated or passionate, my hands move, my lips go about 15 times a second, and you hear about every third word.
That must be the Italian part, the hand motions.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I could talk about this part all night because this is really
Right?
entertaining.
we should just do accents for the rest of the night. I'm down.
I am telling you,
So
we
down.
have so many questions that have come in. It's not even funny. All right, so
Oh, no. There it is.
I'm gonna change gears, but if you would like to continue speaking in accents for the rest of the night, by all means. David Tilstra, hi
You don't gotta tell
David.
me.
Yeah, David.
David would
David.
like to know, who is your very first TTRPG character?
Oh, that's a great question. Oh my god.
Mm.
My very first character is a ranger, a wood elf ranger named Enna. Also love her. I love all my girls, let's be real. But she's a very special kind of elf that's actually a homebrew of Sean's called a Latari, and she's got double pupil eyes, and she's really good with her bow, which I made look like Hermione's wand because I loved the flower and vine pattern that was on it. And yeah, she's a badass, and I love her.
I see Ranger being said a few times in the chat too, and
Yeah.
you said it. And then Ranger was also my first character too, an elf ranger. And it was so funny because I was so terrified to do spells, and I joined the campaign at like level 10 or something like that, so it was already established. And they're like, yeah, you can do these spells. You can like have a horse. This was for Pathfinder. You can have like a companion. I'm like, nope, I'll just shoot my bow. I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's literally what I did too.
Yeah,
I had
I
no
didn't
idea.
utilize anything.
Yeah. Also, Hunter's Mark. The hell's Hunter's Mark? I never, ever remember. I cast it. I remember to cast it. Never remember to roll the dice ever.
Right. I look back
That's
on
so
that character and
funny.
I'm like, man, there were so
That
many
sounds
cool
about
things
right.
I could have
Right?
done.
Well, and
Yeah.
look at my character sheet now because it was the first one that I made, and I was like, God damn it, I did terrible. I want to redo some of these stats. And Sean was very nice enough to let me reallocate some things because it was not good. Like my wisdom was one of my lowest stats, and that's your spellcasting mod. So
So to go along with this, I'm also curious, how long have you been playing TTRPGs? So how long ago was your first character?
Oh wow.
2.5
For me,
years. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
now my first character was a human archer because I wasn't allowed to play a mage because I didn't have enough experience, and that was going on 17 years ago.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think mine was like 2006, 2007. And I didn't know what D&D was, but my older brother and his friends were like, we need a cleric, get in here. And I think it was like 3.5 at the time. And I like played like 2 sessions with them, didn't know anything I was doing. And they were just like, just heal us. That's all you got to do. Just heal us. I was like, okay, D&D sucks. Like, this is a boring game.
It's funny that and Chris, you're probably gonna have to help me out here because if we're going like first character ever, then that was what, like 2010.
It was sophomore year of college.
Yeah, we'll just say 2010. But like Shannon and Amanda, also a ranger.
Nice.
But I don't really remember too much else about the character because I think I only played a handful of games and didn't really like get into D&D officially until like 2014-ish.
I wonder what it is about the Ranger that made like the three of us and some other people mentioned in chat, it was their first class. I wonder what it is about the Ranger that attracts newcomers.
Everybody wants to be Aragorn.
That's it. You know, for me it was Legolas.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be an elf. I wanted to be an elf that shot really good with a bow, and that's what I went for. That's when I was flipping through the playbook, the handbook. It's like, yep, that's what I want to be.
My very first character is, as probably will not be a shock to anyone familiar with Tabletop Tavern, was a halfling rogue. Which is what I play on Sunday nights.
The ankle biter. You love the ankle biter.
I do. Yeah, I do.
The ankle biter.
I do.
Hey, I mean, hamstringing an opponent is a vital way of ending a combat quickly. They can't chase it if they can't walk.
But that was about almost 13 years ago. So, yeah, that was a while ago.
Now, I can't recall my first 5th edition character because I DM'd for like the first 3 years of 5th edition being out. But I do remember a very precious memory of mine of I had just gotten Player's Handbook and DM Guide. And me and Christian, one of my friend Pokey Spinella in the Twitch chat, and he whipped up a character. We used like a character generator. It was like a wizard with these spells, level 1, and it was just me and him one-on-one for like 2 hours. And he made Butt Nipples the Stellar.
I saw that name in chat.
We didn't know what the spells did. We just rolled with it.
Oh my
And
God.
he went on this grand quest where he just started like taking heads, and eventually he got gobbled up by Tiamat because we didn't know what we were doing. And that to me is like a better first character story than anything I remember for myself.
I mean, that is a story.
He loved
That
it so
is a
much.
story.
He folded up his character sheet and kept it in his wallet for years to come, which is, oh yeah, I play D&D. You want to see my guy, Butt Nipples the Stellar?
And that is how his first date ended.
Yeah. She doesn't come around anymore for some reason. I don't know. We liked her, but she doesn't come around.
Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. I don't even know how to follow up that story, so I'm just going to go to a new question.
Perfect.
This is actually a really great question. And we get this from time to time, and it's always really interesting to hear what people have to say. Patch, hi Patch.
Hi, Pat.
Patch would like to know, what is your advice for people wanting to play or DM for the first time?
That's a great question.
It is a great
That is
question.
a
love that
really
one.
difficult question because the advice really comes down to the person. Generally, I would say if you are trying to like join an existing group, sit down with them before actually building a character or anything like that. Just sit down, make sure it's the atmosphere you like.
Yeah.
Because if you don't like the atmosphere,
Absolutely.
it doesn't matter how interested in the game you're into, it's going to detract from the experience, and therefore you're less likely to continue with it. So like if it's just not a good fit, it might be good to pick up the rules from them and then just move on, or just go, you know what, you're my friends and I don't want to damage what we have because this environment just isn't for me. Like I know when we were playing 2E, we got very grindy, very like crunchy in the numbers and whatnot. And it was really hard for new people to get into that kind of environment. Whenever someone tried joining the group, it's like they're like, no, like you spend too much time arguing the numbers, so like we can't get into this. And we lost a lot of people because of that. It's like definitely making sure that you like the environment before joining permanently into the group is super important. That's probably the best advice. And from the DM side, having an idea of the spirit of the table that you want before getting in with your players is very important. So like session zeros, I used to not really believe in them when I was younger and much more foolish, but definitely session 0, session -1, session -1 trillion. Talk about the atmosphere you want on your table, both for the story and kind of the behavior you expect from your players. Like there's certain types of jokes, behaviors that are off limits.
Yep.
Make that clear, because some
100%.
people, like my Saturday group, we eat while we play. Like we snack all the time. We have dinner out on the table. That's not an environment that some people are going to want, because that breaks immersion for a lot of people when you have someone chomping on a fresh rib while they're trying to have this deep character moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also session zeros are also a good time to go over those safety tools, like you were saying, Chris, and set out which topics are off limits, what you don't want to see in your game, what what could possibly be a trigger for somebody else. Like those are so important.
Absolutely.
And to add to that, I think a lot of people, when they think D&D, they think like really immersive role play, and that you have to be this actor all the time. You have to do a voice. You have to do an accent. You don't have to. If you just want to do combat and you just want to roll some dice and you want to narrate what you're doing, that's 100% okay. You don't have to get into character. You don't have to put on a costume. You don't have to have a voice to have fun playing the game. There's literally no right way to play this game. A lot of people just happen to be very immersive people. They like to be immersed and have costumes and accents and all of that, but that's not for everybody, and that is 100% okay.
Yeah,
I
my
absolutely
local
agree.
group is very much the like snacks all over the table. Somebody's in charge of dinner every week. Like that's that kind of group.
Mhm.
The other thing too is I find it's different if you're playing in person versus playing, whether it's either streamed or not streamed, if you're playing online. Because it's just a different vibe. If I'm sitting here, even if we weren't streaming a game, if I'm sitting here in front of a microphone with a headset on, I don't want to listen to somebody chewing into the microphone.
Yes.
Like it's just going to be, because it's just that much louder, So, just something to be aware of in that case. My online group is probably going to be very different than my in-person group. And yeah, I think just being open to just trying different stuff and knowing that the first group that you join may not be the group you end up playing with long term. So
Yeah,
and it's okay to walk away.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't get discouraged by it, because I've played with groups before. I'm just like, and I think, man, what if that had been my first group that I'd play with? What would I have continued on playing? And so a lot of people I've talked to that have only played one time have said, well, I didn't really like the people and they relate that to the game. And I'm like, no, if you just try again, keep trying, find another group, maybe another system that you like better. And I think definitely not getting discouraged with maybe negative first impressions.
Yes.
Yeah. And like I feel like a lot of people forget like D&D is a game of people and being around people and talking to people, and it's the same like if you go to a bar or go meet up with people and you don't enjoy them, like dude, fuck them, like just go meet other people or do stuff with other people you do enjoy.
Exactly.
One of my hard rules is no D&D is better than bad D&D. If you're not having a good time, don't do it, dog. We're all just sitting around playing imagination. There's no reason for someone to have a bad time doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've canceled my local group has actually canceled campaigns before because we were having such a negative experience with the DM. And we just were like, we're not going to put ourselves through, we're not going to sit around and complain every week about how upset we are with how the game is going. We would just rather not play than sit around and complain about it every single week. So yeah. Somebody else said something in chat too, and I want to find it, but
a lot of people in chat have been roasting me because when we first started From Afar podcast, I have a tick. I like to chew ice and also sometimes eat, because when we play for them, it's 3 hours in the future and like it'll be lunchtime or breakfast for me, and I'm just like I think it was like session 6 or something where Andy or Christian is just like, hey man, could you stop fucking chewing in the mic? You pick that up on recording and have to edit it out later. And I was like, oh, is this a problem?
Chat just says Goovy starts each session with a 4x4x4 foot block of ice.
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
When I made my cocktail today, I made sure to use whiskey stones so that I wouldn't chew ice on stream.
That's thinking ahead.
Right?
No, my fault.
Accounting for those behavioral tics.
That's funny. No, there was something else that I was just going to say about it too. And now, of course, the idea is lost because it was based on something that was happening in chat. And I don't know.
It gets buried in general. We said that
I know.
before.
It does. It gets buried in general. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. It had to do with Manda, you said something like maybe find another system. And I think a lot of people think like, well, if I want to play a TTRPG, I have to play D&D because that's a tabletop role-playing game. Like that's the one I have to play. Oh my God, there are so many out there that are like so
Yeah.
much, so like some are so much more crunchy, some are so much less crunchy, but all of them have their pros and cons.
100%.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
I just played the Fate or not Fate, the Quest RPG recently, which is like this brand new one that came out. All you use is a D20 and it's mostly RP. And it was like it was so great. Like it was so relaxed. Like if you're not somebody that wants a lot of numbers and what's my AC and what's my this and I have to add that to attack and whatever. But the quest system was really a lot of fun. You know, it was so lighthearted and easy to maneuver. And, you know, it wasn't like, okay, I take a 5-foot step this way and then I do this and then I can only do this or this, right? You know, so there's a lot of systems out there for people that whether you're DMing or playing, you know, D&D may not be your system. Maybe you want to run something that's more like Quest or, oh my gosh, like maybe you want something more intense like Zweihander or, you know, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So
No, and that's something I definitely have learned within the last like 5 or so years is how many games there are with just huge varieties. Like one of the ones that I was super impressed by is called Dead of Night. And it's basically you and your friends play through like a horror movie, but it's not you make a character, it's you make yourself. And the rules are so open on how that works. There's very little dice rolling. And you just need a dedicated DM to run it. And it can be this wonderful role-playing experience that you feel like you and your friends went through a horror movie as opposed to like me as a character and my friends as characters
That
went
sounds
through
like
something.
so much fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna say
Yeah, after you.
go continue.
I was just like normally
speaking on the-
Halloween we do a big one every year because it's just spooky and fun.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I want to do that.
Speaking of spooky and scary stuff, one of the non-D&D RPGs that the Discount crew loves is Dread. We talk about it all the time. All you need is a Jenga tower.
yeah.
And a little bit of a
Oh,
story.
interesting.
I'm hooked.
Yeah, I've heard that one
Yeah,
come
so-
up on this show a couple of times. So
Oh, you had all but one of the DD crew on here now, and we love it, so that's probably why.
probably.
But yeah, your actions are pulled from the thing. They're more difficult to act, more blocks you have to pull and stack. And it represents the crumbling sanity of yourself as well as the world around you as you go through this horrific experience.
Dude, I love that.
That sounds so cool.
Yep.
I've never heard of it. I want to check it out now.
I know
Yeah,
that's
I've never heard
definitely
of
on
that.
the
That
list of
sounds
stuff that I'd
dope.
like to play. Every time I
Uh,
finish one of these shows, I end up with a post-it note of games I want to try. So
Yeah, but to that point, like D&D, it might be like Monopoly or Sorry, it is the most brand recognizable of the games, but TTRPGs are no different than board games. There are
Absolutely.
infinite. Just because you didn't like one board game doesn't mean you don't like all board games. It's really the exact equivalence. There's no difference. So if you don't like D&D, there's a couple hundred, couple thousand other
Something for
RPG options
everybody.
out there.
Yeah. And like I'm just always so surprised by people that try to reskin D&D into something else when it's like, homeboy, there's already a system for that. You're doing a lot of work you ain't got to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I really want to try Quest because I'm very RP heavy, and that
Yeah.
sounds like amazing. That sounds like the exact kind of system. I mean, I love D&D, and that's well, I've played a couple of systems with the D6 systems, but I haven't played anything else other than 5e. But I think Quest is going to be the next one I really want to try just because of all the RP.
yeah. Yeah, and it's a really like it's just a fun system. It's kind of neat because you know, you have a set number of hit points, you have a set number of essentially like spell points or, you know, action points or whatever. And the DM can kind of, you know, give extra points, you know, based on, oh, you did something really cool, almost like an inspiration point.
Mhm.
And so when I played it, I had a character who she was essentially like a street magician.
Mhm.
And so a lot of her magic spells were illusion and that sort of thing. And so one of the things that she was doing was there was this group that we were running after that was on like a cart, and we were trying to make it so we couldn't lose them. And so what she ended up doing was making the cart light up. And so the DM was like, so tell us how you do that. And I said, well, I kind of frame the cart like this, and then I just go whoop, like I'm doing it in Photoshop, and then I just go poof, and it lights up. And he's like, so basically you're saying that your entire world is like using Photoshop. And I was like, yeah, pretty much.
Awesome.
So
It's always a great DM that takes that flexibility and runs with it, and you can
Yeah.
have those like unique moments.
yeah, it was a good time. It was it's a good one because like it really works for RP while in combat. So yeah, I liked that.
I do find that's like the hardest thing to like make feel good, especially when you're doing a game like for a stream or for a podcast, is when you start getting to the clunkiness that combat can be. It's really hard to keep it like engaging and exciting and still feel like you're role playing it out versus mechanically going through what you can do.
Yeah.
So any system that makes that easier is a system I absolutely want to try.
Yes. Well, the thing that's really nice about the Quest RPG is that it actually, there's no DRM on it, and it actually says right in the book that they want you to share the PDF with your friends. So anybody who wants it, let me know. I will share it with you.
100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think all of us here will end up taking it just so we can read over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will drop it in our Tales from the Tavern chat, but anybody in regular chat, if you want to either shoot me a message on Twitter or on Discord, I will get you a copy of it. So yeah. All right. I'm gonna throw out one more question before we think about taking a break. I want to try to find an easy one. And of course nobody here has. Oh, this is another one from David Tilstra. This is a good before break question. Would your TTRPG character drink Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Ooh, Coke for sure.
Coke for sure.
Coke.
Definitely Coke.
Coke.
No Pepsi here.
Unanimous.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Across the
I
board.
was gonna say I think
Yeah.
Coke, but
We homies, baby. We homies.
Mountain Dew.
Hey, look at that. You're ready. Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew, whatever.
Nobody comes
I'm
to
actually-
the bar. No one
I'm
comes
actually-
to the bar and says whiskey Pepsi. They say whiskey.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure that Edabrix probably drinks Red Bull, but I might be wrong. So
Scarlet drinks Fireball.
Oh.
fair enough.
And it doesn't
21.
because it's disgusting.
Luna,
All right.
Luna,
yes,
have you
what?
reminded the our community Lily, that there's a giveaway going on right now?
I was actually just about to do that.
Oh, I anticipated
so-
that.
Yeah, that was very good. So we are going to go take a quick break, but if you haven't had the chance yet to enter the giveaway, we are giving away a brand new product from Arcane Spectacles that just dropped on their store today. It is for their health tracker. It's very cool. If you would like to enter and have not yet already entered, it is ! capital A, capital S, as in Arcane Spectacles. It is a very cool looking product. Wolf's Blood just dropped a link to it in chat if you want to see what it looks like. So it's great for basically if you want to track if you play online and you want to track your health offline, or yeah, however you want to use it. I got sidetracked because Yacht asked me a question in chat. And I was like, wait, what? So Yacht wants me to show, and I know Shannon has one of these too.
Yeah.
So
100%.
this
I
is
do.
my
Beautiful.
sneak attack tracker. Shannon has a sneak attack tracker too, and Manda has a spell tracker.
Yep, I was taking the dice out of it. It's covered with that dice in it.
Oh. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I can do that.
So yeah, I have dice in mine.
Comes apart.
So yes, so we are all excited about our stuff from them. So yeah, give them a check out. And also, if you are interested in buying anything from their Etsy shop, not exclamation point, capital HowINerd when you check out. We'll give you a 10% discount. So you can shop on their store with a 10% discount. And yeah, we're gonna take a quick break so everybody can hashtag free the P and refill their drinks and all that good stuff. And we will be back in about 5 to 7.5 minutes.
That's how long it takes you to pee? It takes me like 10. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, pee faster.
Luna, should we do a poll? Mark Turris versus Arktov?
Oh yeah, we should.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Hold on.
I love that.
All right. New
Are you
poll.
gonna do it or do you want me to do it?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
All right. Free the pee.
Patch. Hashtag pee harder.
Free the piece from Vero, isn't it?
It is. It's from Vero. Yes.
Oh my god.
That was from
Of
when
course,
Vero
Vero.
was on there.
All
Yeah.
right. Poll is off, and we'll see you
All
guys in
right.
a few minutes.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, you spelled it wrong.
Oh, I'm bad at life.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thank you for your patience. We're coming back from that break, and we'll get back more into Tales from the Tavern with your host, Luna.
Yes, we are back, and we were having a very, very exciting discussion behind the scenes, and we didn't want to end it, so we were just like, let's just keep talking.
What is on my face?
God damn it, Mike!
Oh my god.
Not Mark Turris. Oh, somebody clip that.
Mike, you are
Something
You're a
else.
gem.
Something else, right?
You are something else, that's for sure. Oh my god. I love it.
All right, you guys have fun. You crazy kids.
Okay. All right. So we're going to dive back in. We have a lot of questions from chat, and I honestly am not sure if we're going to get to all of them in the next hour. So we will do the best we can, but I like to let the conversation go the way we can. Also, for anybody who just joined us during the break, we have a giveaway going on right now. Exclamation point, capital A, capital S for a Arcane Spectacles brand new product, their health tracker that they just put on their store today. So if you are interested in entering for that, go ahead and we will draw the winner as we get close to the end of the episode.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. We have a question. We're going to dive into this one from Nick. Do you prefer playing or DMing, and why?
Playing 100%. I am hashtag forever player.
I might
That's a
think I
good
might
feel.
fit into that category too.
That's
I've never
me.
actually DM'd, but I don't know if I at this point I want the job or the responsibility. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm also incredibly spoiled by Sean, so I just want to play in his world all the time.
I tried to DM once, and the group that I was playing with broke my story like 3 episodes in, like literally just destroyed it. And I was like, "Yep, that's it. I'm done. I'm never doing this again." But I enjoy the playing aspect better. I have a hard time managing that many people coming at me from that many different angles, so that was way too complicated for me.
I think I'm the opposite, actually. I used to play a lot, and then I started DMing, and it's really hard to go back to playing once you've DM'd because you get set in your way, how you want the game to flow for you. And it can be really hard, like turning that off when you go to play under someone else, especially if 90% of what you do is DM, you only game 10% of the time.
Yeah.
Like turning your brain off for that 10% and letting someone else be the one in control. It's just like, but like I've had to memorize all these mechanics for this specific thing, so this is how I like it. Can we just do it this way and make my life simple? And it honestly makes me feel like an ass when I play, and I'm like, I try to turn it off. Like I really do. It's just so hard to break. So I think I'm actually probably happier being forever DM. At least when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Another system that I don't know like the back of my hands, I will happily play and probably never DM. I was like, nope.
Yeah, like for me, the way I got into 5th edition was a friend of mine was like, "Hey, I bought the starter kit. Will you DM?" And then for 3 years, I was just a DM for so long, and like I've had 2 long-term characters, one of which is the podcast now. Um, but I think I would say I like DMing more. There's like a high you almost get while DMing, and then like once you're done DMing, you're spent. You just need to like sit down, shut off for a little bit. But then at the same time, being a player, there's this like freedom of like, I don't need to be the one talking to everyone the whole time. I could just shut up for 30 minutes while someone else does a scene. So it's a tough call. I think I'd say DMing though.
I think everybody else has made some very strong points, both for and against. But I think I'm definitely more in the player category. I've tried a little bit of DMing, and maybe some point in the future I'd like to go back to it. But for the most part, I'm very content and happy being a player.
Yeah.
I think it's like that balance of like when you're a player, you get to affect a world. When you're a DM, you have to respond to the affectation towards the world. So
That's a good way to put it.
That is a
Keeping
good
the
way to put
Yeah,
it.
balance.
that's actually really good.
Yeah. I always when I tried to do that campaign, like, and one of the things that I have noticed about DMs, both good DMs and not so good DMs that I've played with, is the ones that are really good are able to just like pivot on a dime when something happens in the game. And the ones like me that are not so good are the ones that like can't react, like really have to stop and think about what the next
Yeah.
thing is going to be now.
Mhm, mhm.
And I'm sure a lot of that gets easier with practice and just doing it, but it's always been so like that kind of thing is just such a challenge for me that it's always like,
Yeah.
I'd just rather play.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
my
I don't
biggest
think
advice is after you.
I said I don't think needing to stop to think through something is necessarily a sign of like a bad DMing or anything like that. Because there are some decisions that players make that I just sit there and I have to think, like how does the world respond to this decision? Like it's so far out there. Like I'm surprised you conceived this because I thought of 9 things and this was not one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be a moment, even for the best DMs, that they need to sit, they need to think, they need to process, because there's only so much improving you can do. There is a limit to yes, and especially when the decision has crucial ramifications for someone's story. Like not even your story, because as we've progressed with Discount, we've gotten very character focused, and in some recent episodes, they've made some very tough personal choices, and that as a DM, I'm sitting there going like, I actually don't know how this deeply personal choice now affects the story moving forward. And I've had to sit there for about 10 minutes and to process, okay, what does this mean for the NPCs that just witnessed this?
Mm-hmm.
So it's fair for a DM to need time, and it's unfair to pressure yourself that you need to always pivot on a dime. I mean, some of the best moments come for when you do, but you do need to give yourself as a DM space to breathe and respond sometimes. And it's not anything to be ashamed of. It's just natural.
And also, I love a lot of the moments where a character gets told no, and now they need to act on a dime where they're like, oh shit, like that didn't work.
Yes. Yeah.
What, like now what do I do to solve this dilemma? And I like in improv, we call those building blocks. Like you're blocking what's happening in order to build more on something else. And I like seeing those moments from like a DM perspective of like, no, that doesn't work. Now what? Like, show me now that what you had front loaded didn't work. Now what do you got?
Yeah. I like to do that in combat when like I'll have a plan of like I'll be watching how the fight's playing out, and then I'll like, all right, I got my next move. This is what's going to happen, and then the person before me does something that completely derails my plan. It's like, oh crap! Now I have like 10 seconds to think of something else. But I think that's the extent of like on the spot kind of thing that I can handle, which is why I prefer playing, just because I think DMing is a lot of like, it's just a lot of on the spot stuff, especially when your players decide to do things that you didn't plan for. Which
You mean
is
always?
always, which never happens.
80% of the time minimum.
Yeah.
80% always. 80% always. Somewhere in that range.
Yep.
Very thin window.
Oh gosh. All right, let's see. What else do we have? We have David Tilstra. If you had to become best friends with a monster from the monster manual, what monster would it be?
Oh boy. I don't know.
Wow, that's a good question.
It is a good question.
I'd say
I
a blue
think I was-
dragon, hands down. They're my favorite monster in the monster manual.
Nice.
I was also thinking dragon, but I'm leaning more towards silver. They make like cloud palaces, like hard stuffed clouds. That's dope.
Hmm.
I want to be in a cool cloud palace.
I was talking, one of the guys that streams in our Monday night stream here, Atomic Zero, was streaming on his own channel earlier today. And me and somebody else and in the chat and him got into a conversation about oozes. And I would really like to think that I would be best friends with a gelatinous cube.
Oh.
Like, I just want to have a little gelatinous cube that follows me around everywhere. I just think that would be so funny.
Yeah.
What's up, homie?
You
I'm
would
gonna
call
take a
him
little load
squishy.
off.
You will be my squishy. God, I don't think I know enough monsters to know which one I would
As
like.
you slowly dissolve laying on it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
It's exfoliating. It's exfoliating.
Yeah, right.
I think I would choose a mimic, just because
Oh.
Oh, smart.
it could be whatever I wanted it to be, and if I
That's a
just
good
wanted it
one.
to be, whatever.
That's a good one.
Just keep him fed.
Yeah, just keep him fed. It'd be fine.
Well, the first thing that came to my mind was hags, because I really enjoy the whole deal making back and forth and all of that. But I don't know. I'm not 100% satisfied with that answer, so I'm going to keep thinking.
I just couldn't imagine the smell kicking it with a hag. It
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Reasons why I'm
What?
not reasons I'm not 100% satisfied with the answer.
Mm. I keep feeling like there's like so many better things that I could pick, but
Right.
like nothing comes to mind.
What's something that's cute? I would befriend a cute monster.
a
a
pseudo
humbly
dragon.
fan.
Pseudo dragon.
pseudo-dragon.
Pseudo
Ooh,
dragon. Yeah,
dragon.
there it goes. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Meg.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
like Laser Beasts.
Yeah, Meg, you
Ooh.
changed my answer. It'd be a hollyphant. Little
Oh,
feathery little
yes, little
mammoth
holly-
thing
yeah.
with wings. Oh yeah. Elephants are my favorite animal, so
I'm
owl bear.
I'm coming up with like a blank because like part of me wants to be like, yeah, I want something cute, but then another part of me is just like, why not a my player? They got like Cthulhu faces. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
and if you're ever having trouble with your memory, they go scoop it up and tell you.
Oh man.
That's one
mean,
way of dealing with a hard day.
I wish I could forget this day. I got you. Don't worry.
Part of me is kind of like, what about something like a oh my god, what are they called? Senmerv? Like the wolf eagle things. Have you ever seen those?
No.
Yeah, it's like a wolf's body, but
have
instead of
not.
having front legs, it has eagle wings.
Ooh, I
That
think
sounds dope.
a griffin too. A griffin would be cool.
Oh, griffin, yeah,
Very
that'd be
cool.
neat.
Now he said be friends with. Close
Yeah.
does this friendship go? Can I ride you to work?
Right?
I mean, what
Like,
are
you're
friends
built for
for?
this. You're built for this home. Can I get a ride? Like, come on.
Like, are you going to use your magic for good if we're best buddies? Like, because then I
Or-
might pick something like a lich, because that would be awesome.
Mm.
Are we meeting up at
Yes.
the bar and I have to hear your like terrible stories of how you ransacked an entire town and I'm just like, oh, cheers, bud. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's so many choices. Holy moly.
Oh, someone in chat said Tarask. Jeez.
Oh,
my God.
man.
But
Nice.
yeah, I'll meet
mean,
you
who
like
doesn't wanna be
45 minutes
Godzilla?
outside of town. I just don't want you to destroy everything I know and love. So I'll meet you
Yeah.
like way out there, dog. Don't worry. What else? I think I would stick with Hollyphant though. That's a cute little guy.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna go with gelatinous cube for tonight, and then I'll probably change my answer in the morning.
That's a good answer.
I mean, it helps with garbage disposal like nothing else.
It's true.
That's very true.
Good for the
Easy
It's
planet.
true.
I saw things about a pygmy owl bear in chat, and I think I want that. It's just like
That
this
would be
little
cute.
squishy little plushy thing. Oh yeah, so down.
Do you still have to feed him meat? Like,
Probably. Just like this cute little thing that eats like a rare steak every single day, every single meal.
take it by the dog park. Now you got an issue.
Yeah. Oh no.
God. Let's see. All right, I'm going through. Let's see. I want to ask a question to somebody that we haven't answered one from yet, though.
Sure.
Let's see. Let's see. Pokey Spinella already asked one. Relic, Nick, you already asked one. David, good God, people.
We have our inquisitive ones laid out for us.
It's true. Chaotic Neutral Adulting would like to know,
There we go.
what is your favorite magic item you've either found as a player in a game or put into a game as a DM?
Ooh.
I think as a DM, and everyone's gonna hate me for this. I'm ready for the hate. My favorite item I put to a game was the deck of many things.
Get out.
Nice.
Get out. I've
Never
come
again.
across
My wife has very strong opinions about this magic item.
Yeah, apparently.
Personally,
I recently got a special amulet in my home campaign that so my character is vulnerable to necrotic damage. So this amulet made her resistant to necrotic damage, so it balanced it out. And it also gave her advantage against being charmed. So there's the villain, one of the villains in the home campaign she's terrified of. So this item she got from actually a goddess that the party had freed. And it gives her advantage on being frightened and, just kind of instills bravery in her, which I thought was really, really cool. Because she's taken a lot of necrotic damage in 2.5 years. So it's nice to have it regular.
For me, it's probably a tie between a movable rod and portable hole. A movable rod.
Yes.
You get
Portable
two movable
hole.
rods, you can go anywhere. It's a makeshift ladder as much as you want it to be. But portable hole doesn't come up very often, but you can literally just flip out a tablecloth, and now you got this sweet little hole, and you just scoop it back up into the size of a handkerchief. That it's got so many little uses and stuff, more for like RP and things. So that's probably one of my favorites.
I mean, to kind of piggyback off that, I'm sorry, gonna kind of steal your answer.
Steal
Also,
away.
portable hole. It helped me steal an entire armory one time. It was great. Highly support it.
I like that idea.
To me, it's a better bag of holding.
Yeah.
Truth.
especially when the DM misreads the dimensions and makes it canon.
That sounds like it could be problematic.
No, not at all. It has not bitten me in the ass once.
Whoops. I don't think I've ever had anything super awesome. I mean, probably honestly, the best thing that any of my characters have ever had my character in our Sunday night campaign carries what the heck is that thing called? It's not a bag of holding. It's like the next step down from a bag of holding.
Is that the bag of
Handy haversack. It's a handy haversack. And that's probably like the best thing that any of my characters have ever gotten. So yeah, chat's like, yeah, the haversack, you know. Yep. Yeah, that's because she ends up interestingly enough, they trust the rogue with the handy haversack.
Whoops.
Just saying. I mean,
Yeah, whoops.
there has been times that they have forgotten there is stuff in there. And I know it's there because it's on my inventory. So yeah. I sold it all once. I had a lot of gold. The rest of the party, not so much.
Where did you come into all this gold, and what happened to all that loot from before?
Right?
I don't know
Yeah.
what you're talking
Exactly.
I know. I'm like, oh, Yachts is here. I better not say too much. No, I'm kidding. Usually Yachts' character is in on all of my characters' shenanigans. So, let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna come back to some of these. Jim the Dim, when it comes to deep RP, how long would you like that session to go?
Forever. I say that yeah.
It changes for the table I'm at.
Yeah.
Like when I'm playing like on From Afar and everything, we'll have entire sessions where barely nary a dice hits the table. Because it's all like role playing out. But then I run a campaign where like they kind of don't like the RP. And so like when an RP moment hits, we got to kind of close that down because people start, losing interest, getting on their phones and stuff. So for me, it shifts depending on the table, depending on the group.
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
Yeah, also like the dynamic, like if you're trying to record something and keep it to like an hour and a half, you kind of gotta keep deep RP to maybe 30-40 minutes between two people, just so that everyone gets some shut in the episode and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you don't have to, but like,
No, I agree with you. I
like there
100%
has to be a
agree
little
with
bit of balance of everything. So
Yeah.
it comes down to the table, it comes down to context.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would
But I
love
would say-
to RP it for hours and hours and hours and hours, but
Same.
I am very sensitive to the fact that everybody needs to have their screen time or their voice time or for a podcast. It needs to be spread out, even if it's not in the same episode. It needs to even out eventually, like when you're in somebody's character arc or you're doing something for another party member, just to make sure that everybody feels like their time is valued.
Mm-hmm.
Even just in person, I find even if I took the streaming and all of that stuff out of it, if I was just playing a campaign, I would feel much more comfortable doing deep RP sessions with like the Tabletop Tavern and the Tabletop Tavern 2 groups than I would with my home group, like my local group at home. And I'm not really sure why that is. Like, I can't quite pinpoint it. But yeah, I feel like I would have a easier time getting into a deeper RP session. So,
well, I venture to guess, like with the tavern crew, I mean, you've faced bigger fires together, right? Like it's something that's more public. You guys have gone through that more together, as opposed to your home crew, where like in my personal experience, it's always been like a lighter load and a lighter like involvement when it's just you guys.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing too for me, again, my experience is I am a parent, and so when I'm playing at home, like 9 times out of 10, my kid is in the room with me, and when I'm streaming the campaigns on Sunday night and Wednesday night, my daughter, like right now, my daughter's at a friend's house. Like she's not even here.
Yeah.
So it would be much easier. Like I think I'm more relaxed in those settings. If she were not home during a local group, it would probably be more similar. But
Yeah, your mind is more free to go into there.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
There's less pull from outside.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
Anybody else?
I just agree with what everyone said.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
All right. Well, Amanda, you can answer this one next then. Ready?
Okay.
It's no, I think you'll like this one actually. Nox Batty would like to know. Actually, what Nox Batty says is, okay, I'll ask one. If you could if you could meet your favorite PC or NPC here in real life, where would you take them and what would you teach them about ordinary life?
Oh,
Wow. Actually,
That's a really good question.
I really like this question.
Oh my gosh. I would choose my character from our Wednesday night show, Shula. She's an oracle and she had a really rough upbringing and she's very distrustful of people and she has like really severe paranoia, and I would like to meet her and take her out and kind of just show her the good in people. I don't know, just like expose her to like the good of humanity. I don't know necessarily what that might entail, but like, you know, introducing her to friends, you know, taking her to go look at like puppies, you know, I don't know, just anything that would like make her happy, because I feel like she is, even though she's a good character and she tries to be positive, I feel like there's a lot of negativity underneath, and I would love to just show her what a true friend and like a good person is, because she just hasn't experienced that in her life at all.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
I love that
So
answer.
good.
We should
All right,
just
now-
go to the next one.
I was going to say, now who wants to follow that up?
I'm sorry.
Oh, dang.
I know that was a great question,
That's
though.
really good.
That's probably one of my favorite questions we've ever gotten.
I don't think I'd want to take Scarlet anywhere.
I think I'd want to take Evie out somewhere and teach her how to actually shoot her bow, because she's really bad at it.
Yeah. True.
I'd take Anna to the shooting range, maybe, probably, but that's kind of cliche because she's already good at that. So I wouldn't teach her anything about that, but maybe she could teach me.
Yeah.
From afar, we have a resident mind flayer on our ship who like makes a bunch of like artificed tools and things like that. His name is Slawl, but he's like the nicest guy, and he you know, that like Dristo word and I'm not of my kin kind of thing. And I'd probably pick him and just be like, hey man, like you want to go to like some cool events and just meet people and see the world so you can come up with better ideas for your inventions? I don't know.
Oh,
Let's go hang
I
out.
love that. I love that.
I like
I
that.
saw Christian was talking about Scuba Steve. I'm down with that too. Yeah.
Scuba Steve.
Scuba Steve.
Actually, speaking of Driz, I'm currently reading one of the novels, and I'd actually like spending a day in the woods with Driz, just like staring up at the stars.
Oh,
I
God.
feel like it'd
That
be a
would be
very
really
much
cool.
from that man.
I'm gonna say it sounds like it'd be just a very peaceful and insightful like night, just staring at the stars. I don't think I could teach him anything, but it'd just be nice to be in the presence of someone that has such interestingly conflicted emotions that somehow find this odd harmony.
You could teach him that not all humans hate drow.
Yeah.
Be like, I
I
just want to
mean-
kick it with you, dog.
Right?
Okay, fair,
Oh my
fair.
gosh.
Saint, what does your shirt say, by the way? I'm dying to know.
Yeah. Chat's been asking about
yeah,
that too.
Chat does too. Yep. Think you're muted.
It's
Oh.
the
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I'm into BDSM, and I'm okay with leaving it there. We don't have-
Oh, there you go.
I love that.
I'll just read it up. BDSM, battles, dragons, swords, magic.
Yes.
Nice.
Love it.
All
This
good
was
things- all
actually-
good things to be into.
This is actually a gift from our player Megan, who plays Cece. She to cheer everyone up because everything was going on. She bought some of us shirts, and this was the one that she got me because she figured it would make me laugh the most. So
The chat's
Thank
now
you.
freaking out because the two of you are in the same room.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, plot twist, they're in the same room.
I mean, we are married.
That's so funny. Star's like, I was so confused when he showed up in the other camera.
The wall is the same color.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
giveaway.
Taylor, the wall's the same color.
Same color walls.
You can see my boom arm in her thing.
I just thought they liked blue. Oh God, I love you
that.
all. Chat, you're amazing.
Oh man.
Oh God. All right, let's see. Anybody else want to take a stab at that question?
Oh yeah. So maybe this is a bit of a cop out. I don't really know, but you know what? I'd take my character Zara to a casino because she'd win a lot.
Nice.
Love it.
Get a little payday.
Right? Yeah, Bat Duck asked about Squee. Squee, that's a hard one for me to answer, Bat Duck. So Squee is a goblin NPC in Tabletop Tavern on Sunday nights. And it's hard for me to say anything about Squee because my character does not really like Squee. So she is very biased against goblins, despite the fact that Squee has proven himself to be fairly trustworthy otherwise, aside from wanting to eat all of their horses. Yeah, I don't know. But I personally think than Heron. I personally actually think Squee might be kind of fun to just like take out and I don't know, just show him like take him to Boston or something, take him to New York City and be
Boston?
like, Boston.
Boston.
Fuck you, little
Fuck
green guy. What, you
You
fucking
fuck.
Irish? Yeah, get out of here. You don't know shit. Trying to eat my fucking horse? What's wrong with you?
Oh, there's the Boston accent for anybody who is wondering. Oh my God, that was great. All right. Optimus Subprime Mortgage. Do you prefer to get XP from RP and battle or only from battle?
RP. Character development all the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love how different
Both.
things like that you can do in role playing can affect how much experience you get.
Yep.
So in a game that I play on Sunday nights at home, we got experience because the prisoners got out alive, and
Mhm.
we got extra experience because we were able to solve a problem using diplomacy and not a fight. And I like how the variation that gives you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
like XP to be a reward for solving a conflict. Not
Yes.
necessarily through combat, but you solved the problem.
The
Yeah.
way Sean does it in our games is we level up after a story arc. So we don't keep track of experience points. We just, we go through a certain story arc, and then when we come to the conclusion of that, we level up. And I like that. It's milestone, I guess, was what it is.
Milestone leveling makes things just so much easier
Yeah.
in terms of bookkeeping.
Yeah, I used to be a staunch like XP's all the way kind of guy, and I have learned to loathe it in 5e because it is not balanced well. So in my opinion, like the monsters don't really give enough for a group once you get above 4. And while I do love giving it for like social encounters or like not combating or coming up with that, I always feel like it's hard for me to judge just how much to give. Because it's really hard to judge like a character's individual growth
Yeah.
from the DMs. Like, yeah, sure, I saw what you did table, but like players, they think of their character in a lot of different ways. Like the thought process that goes in that one statement is so hard for me to like go, yeah, that was worth 25 experience points, but yours over there was worth 10,000 experience points because you went through this
It's a lot to keep
crisis to
track
come to
of.
that conclusion.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
lot to keep track of.
Yeah. And
So
I
I've
found-
definitely become a proponent of milestone as being like when you feel like there's a good point in the story, just awarding the level.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of pressure off the players.
Mhm.
And like I found DMing when doing XP, like you almost feel like you're slighting somebody when they did like more in this combat encounter, but you want to
Mhm.
give out equal XP so everyone levels at the same time. Or if you're not doing that, then you've got someone level 4, somebody level 3, and it creates this this lack of like cogency to the table. It feels like when you're too involved in the XP. And I mean, I'm a sucker for role plays, so like milestone it up, baby.
Yeah.
You can also use milestones as incentives for your players, like Sean did. But right before we started a really big boss battle, he was like, "All right, if you win this, you will be level 10." And we had just leveled up to level 9, and we don't level up in his games for like months. So we're like, "All right, guys, we got to do it." And that was the best fight we ever did because we wanted another level.
Nice.
You're like, oh yeah, more
Oh, yeah,
capabilities. We're gonna
Oh yeah, we're gonna fight hard.
spending everything on this fight. Fuck what happens next.
It was awesome.
All right. Well, we have time for one last question. So sorry if we didn't get to your question tonight. We had more questions come in than we have time for. So this one came in from Bat Duck, and Bat Duck would like to know, would you consider death to a PC due to bad decisions during an RP session, like a prison execution or etc.?
Oh, totally. 100%.
As a player, I absolutely would. Like, if I knew that I was doing something that was going to warrant a bad, like, could end badly for my character, yeah.
If it's for story reasons, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, and I feel like, you gotta kind of keep that grounded, right? Like there are consequences to things, and yeah, that could happen if you play those cards.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's one of those things, like as a DM, that you have to know when to pull that trigger and when not to, because it is a very fine line. Because it can seem extremely callous from a player's perspective. They just went, yeah, no, this is the misstep that kills you. It can feel kind of arbitrary from the other side of the table.
Yeah.
So like it is definitely a fine line to walk. But I do think it is a necessary threat. Like there are some situations that you can only make worse. There are some situations that your behavior will only exacerbate in a negative way. So it's something players should be aware of, and DMs, GMs, however you want to address it, need to be very judicious in its application.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, Bat Duck said that he didn't want to end on a downer question. So Patch has a happy question that he wants everybody to answer before we start doing the wrap up for the show. His happy question is, did you know you're all awesome?
No, you,
Aw.
Pat.
Yeah,
No, you.
Oh, Pat, you sweetie. You're the awesome one.
Patch, winner of giveaways through and through.
Yeah, right?
It is you who is awesome.
Oh.
So true.
Yeah, everybody in chat, no, you.
I don't believe you, Patch. You probably did it by accident.
He didn't enter, and somehow
He
wins.
still won. Yeah.
Right? I know. He's like, I swear I didn't enter. So for those of you in chat who don't know why Patch is not allowed to enter, it's because basically everybody from Discount Dungeons always wins something in one of our giveaways. So Patch has won something from us before. Yeah.
Patch
So-
wins everything.
He wins everything. It's true. All right. So what I'm going to have everybody do is I'm going to have you all go around and just remind us again of who you are and where we can find you, what nights you stream or when you drop your podcast or anything like that. Just a reminder, if you didn't get to enter the giveaway, we're going to do that right after we finish going around to everybody. So, Wolf's Blood's like, apparently I entered the giveaway every time I spammed the info.
Whoops.
That's all right. If you win Wolf's Blood, we'll pick somebody new. Wolf's Blood also notoriously wins all of the giveaways. So I'm going to go in the reverse order from the way we started. So we are going to start with Shannon.
Yay. Hi, everybody. I'm Shannon. Thank you so much for watching tonight. This was so much fun. I love chatting with all of you. You guys are wonderful. You can find me over at Paradise RPG and all over Twitter. We currently have 3 shows on Paradise RPG. On Sundays, we have the Tim and Shannon Power Hour, where Tim and I talk about Paradise stuff and we speculate on the story and where we think it's going and talk to lovely members of the D&D and TTRPG community. Mondays is our flagship show, Advantage in Paradise. We are going on episode 44 on next Monday, which is nuts. We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary in October already. Cannot believe that.
That's
So
exciting.
really, really excited about that.
That is exciting.
Yeah, really, really pumped
That
for
is
that.
amazing. Congrats.
Thanks. And on Wednesdays, and will eventually be Thursdays, but Wednesdays for right now is Sean's Relaxing in Paradise stream, where he crafts terrain, paints some minis, talks about his lore, and his players harass him in chat, and it's a lot of fun.
That does sound like fun.
Excellent. Meg.
Yes. So thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun meeting all of you, talking to all of you. Discount Dungeons drops on Wednesdays, and you can find them on Twitter at I forget where the underscore is. You know what? This is going to get redundant anyway, so Chris can handle that part.
Fair enough.
I love
Well, thanks so much for joining us. And Shannon, thank you as well. I'm super glad that you guys both were able to.
Yeah, this was amazing.
Yeah. Chris, let's go over to you.
Okay, so we are Discount Dungeons. Our episodes drop generally the second and last Wednesday of the month at about 6 to 7 p.m. If you want episodes early, you can join our Patreon. We're also available all the time in our Discord. We are at discount_D&D, and you can find me personally at SaintofDaemons on Twitter.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for coming back. I mean, I'm glad to know that I didn't scare you away the last time you were here. So that's always good.
Oh, you couldn't scare me, Luna. You're too sweet.
People keep telling me this.
Wrong.
I'm so happy to be back, and I hope you'll have me again at some point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All of you are welcome back anytime. All right. Goodval, over to you.
Yeah, so From Afar Podcast, you can find us at From Afar Podcast on Twitter. I'm GurvalTalks on Twitter. I gotta be honest, I don't use Twitter very much. I'm working on it. I'm trying to be better about it.
You're doing great.
Our
Great.
episodes release every other Monday, so this upcoming Monday, new episode. In between that, we do have our blog posts kind of rehashing the episode from another perspective. Plus, we love to do little collabs and stuff, game nights and things, which you can get privy to on our Discord. But yeah, this has been such a fun experience. Luna, everyone, you are all so wonderful. And I only hope you could have me back because this has been a blast.
Absolutely, you can come back. Anybody who makes a drink in my honor is allowed to come back anytime. So,
oh yeah, I did tell everyone on the break that everyone present right now can request a drink made in their honor, whether it be their character, themselves, their personality. So look forward to those coming out because I'll probably post that whenever I make it.
That's so cool.
Can I get a-
I'm like,
Can I get a gin one, please?
Absolutely.
that's what mine's a gin one.
I have a fully stocked bar over in my kitchen with all the tools and everything. I can make you whatever you want, baby.
Awesome.
And Manda.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm a cast member here on Wednesday nights for Tabletop Tavern 2, which is our Pathfinder First Edition campaign where I play Shula Dawnflower, the resident oracle. And that's at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm central, so I had to think about it. And you can follow me on Twitter. That's in the chat. And I post a lot of pictures. I do miniature painting. So if you're into tabletop miniatures, that's pretty much my big passion project that I do. And I like to post on there and talk about nerdy stuff.
Yes.
yeah.
And you should definitely check out her miniature painting because she's really, really good at it. So
Thank you. It's a work in progress, always room for improvement, but I appreciate that.
Yes. Well, I'm so glad it worked out for you to come and hang out with me tonight because I always love it when you get to hang out with me. So
I know once a week on HowINerd just isn't enough, and
It's
I
not.
love the opportunity to come on here anytime I
I
can.
know. I'm so excited. All right. Well, let's before I sign off for the night, let's do the drawing for our giveaway. So
Let's do it.
let's do it. Let's see who it is.
Drum
Mike, are you
roll.
ready?
I'm always ready. Always.
All right.
All right. Ready? Get those
Ready.
rigs. Get those rigs ready. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
No.
Patch, isn't it?
No. It's yachts. He's not getting it. Denied. Denied. Holomark.
Tomac. Yeah.
Yay! Come back.
That's
Patrick, You got
awesome.
yourself an HP tracker, bud.
Is he
Now
here?
you have
Yeah.
to play with us. Now you
I
have
know.
to.
No
He's-
excuse.
There he is. All right. I was like, is he
Okay.
still here? He's here. Tomac, I'll touch base with you on Discord, okay? And we'll get that sent out to you. So yes. Well, awesome. Well, thank you all for coming to hang out tonight. Chat, you were amazing tonight. Oh my God.
You're
Everybody,
in
all of you
chat.
come back every week.
Chat was giving me life tonight.
Yeah,
They were
right?
amazing.
Oh my God.
I
They
gotta-
were amazing.
I feel like
And
there's
the-
a party right here ready to
There
play
is.
a game. I just got to think of the world.
Oh,
Right?
don't
Ooh,
don't
can
you
we?
tempt me. I'll
Oh,
run
yeah.
that shit.
We'll all have the
Luna,
Boston
Luna,
accents.
Luna,
What?
that thing, that thing we're doing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be in touch.
Please.
We'll be in touch.
What?
We got reached out to by a TTRPG creator. They want us to do a one shot. So
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we'll.
I'm down.
Yeah. It sounds like a pretty neat system. So we're pretty excited. All right. Well, let's see. I am Gamer Mom Luna. You all know me as Luna. We are the HowINerd channel. You can find our streams on Sunday night, Tabletop Tavern, which is our flagship stream, Pathfinder First Edition at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Monday night, Neural Nexus Zero, which is our cyberpunk, our Savage World cyberpunk campaign set in retro wave 1980s Boston, which is a super cool campaign if you haven't had the chance to check that out. Coming soon, Tuesday nights will be our Star Wars campaign. Stay tuned in a few weeks. August 27th, we are doing a cast reveal episode of Tales from the Tavern. We have a phenomenal cast. I'm so excited about that cast. So come back for that if you want to see who is going to be in it. And then Wednesday nights, like Manda said, we've got Tabletop Tavern 2, which is our second Pathfinder First Edition campaign at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Thursday nights, you have Tales from the Tavern right here with me. We start at 8 p.m. Eastern. We go for about 2 hours, and we have all kinds of fun, as you saw tonight. So we also have the Storytellers Union, which is our stream team. Paradise RPG is a part of that. We would totally include all of our podcast friends if we could, but Twitch and podcasts don't talk like that. So that doesn't work so well. But in my groupings on Discord, they're all in the Storytellers Union group. So, so we are a stream team that specifically is geared towards TTRPG streamers, streaming channels. So we have a bunch of great channels that are involved with that. It's a great opportunity for us to all connect and, share knowledge and share advice and ask questions and, get help and all of that stuff. So if you are part of a TTRPG streaming community and are interested in something like that, feel free to reach out to me or Mike, and we will absolutely get you the information. So I think we are going to try to raid somebody. I'm looking to see who is on right now.
I think I saw Lions is on, but let me double check.
Lions on is,
Lion, yeah.
and Indigo Chameleon is also on.
I
So
think last time we went with Indigo, so this time.
did we? Yeah. All right. Let's go to Lion then.
Lion.
All right.
Sounds good. So we are going to raid Lion's Head Gaming, who is also part of the Storytellers Union. So if you are a subscriber, you know the drill. Get over there, drop those rads, drop those, nice shots, drop the exploding die, tell them all where you're coming from, and have a great night. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. It's so fun.
Bye.
Bye.
And we're kicking off the raid now. It'll take a second.
Excellent.
I was slacking on my duties, so now we get to awkwardly stare at the camera, and you guys can smile and wave.
Everybody smile and wave.
Thanks for being here.